Hey, the question on Plato's Allegory of the Cave. Why do people mistake illusions for truth? Well, I believe that we cling to the comforting illusions uh, that like real understanding. A real understanding requires accepting discomfort and stepping beyond what feels familiar to us. Prisoners, to give you a rundown, of the cave, in case you don't know it, is that there's prisoners inside the cave that are chained and they only see shadows, their shadows, and they mistake that for reality. And the purpose is that to them, their shadows equals reality. Well, the point of the matter is that there is one prisoner who manages to escape the cave and steps out into reality outside the cave. And this brings some confusion and pain, most definitely. Just hear me out. Um, because they stepped out of the cave, they had to adjust their reality. Because now they're no longer in the cave. They're seeing real objects in sunlight, the brightness of the sun. And having seen that, this prisoner then goes back and returns to the cave to let them know, hey, what you're seeing of what we thought was real is not real. So hence becomes the rejection part. They're rejecting because they want to hold on to what they've seen since birth. Even though the illusion of the shadows is them, so to speak, it really isn't real. It's not a real person per se. So this person is trying to let them know that what they believed in since birth is not true. And so the key that I want you to take from this, since I'm explaining it to you, is that sometimes our beliefs equal the illusions that we have of certain things are distorted. And it's this distorted information. And so when we step out of our cave, our illusions, our mind, of things that we hold true and believe, we're enlightened. We're able to move past from appearance to truth, so to speak. And sometimes us as humans, there's a resistance, a pushback, if you will, of when our beliefs are challenged. It is it's a long shot, but hear me out because it really is true. I see how true it is because in my own life I see it. Now, beliefs come from available information to limited, distorted information, our distorted beliefs, new truths that feel uncomfortable, and real knowledge that requires us to leave our cave, so to speak. An example of this is, our cave is like social media. Um, Now everything's under AI. A good point here is videos on Facebook. How do we know it's real? How do we know it is that this is not being AI twisted? Fake news. What is the real news? What's the fake news? We have to get out of our beliefs, our comfort zone basically, and try to go out there and find the truth for us. It does take research. It can be painful. It will mess with our beliefs. It will establish truth to where we'll know, hey, for once for all, this is uh, what it really is. And it's basically human nature. We all do this. We may not be stuck in a cage chain since our birth, but our beliefs, the way we look at things in the real world, can be just like that. Things that we've been taught since birth, maybe how our family, views things, how we've been raised. This can distort the truth. We can be told things, that may not be the truth. And then the painful realization when we do find it's like, all this time, I've been, sort of believing a lie. And so there may be some painful rejections of it. And it just all comes down to modern life, uh, willing to select the misinformation or accept the new information that we found out on our own. So this is how it kind of parlays with how we handle things, how we receive things. I can see his point. Is it really true what I believe in? Or is it like the illusions in the cave? We have more information out here in the real world that we can grab. We're really not trapped. Hear me out. We're not trapped. We can either stay in our comfort zone or we can accept the truth for what it is, do the research, accept the brightness, be enlightened, so to speak, and be willing to do the steps out of our mind of what we hold from, whether it was family values or what have you. It's just access equals understanding. And the more information that we obtain, create new information. And it could be the real information if we accept it. Today's cave is more psychological and not physical, whereas the prisoner leaving the cage was physical. He thought what he had was real. When he came out of the cave, he realized it was all an illusion and it's not real. You know, the cave mirrors our own illusions. That's the point I'm trying. That's the point I'm trying to make. Just, decide for yourself. We all have shadows that we mistake for truth. Think about it. Now, I have been thinking about it. Things that I grew up with, I'm like, oh my goodness. So growth is noticing them and stepping out of our comfort zones into the light and helping others gently.